Okay.
But now the question that we asked today, of course, was what was in uh, what were we listening to in this phone on these phone calls to his parents, and it just seems like an altogether dysfunction. You know, dysfunctional family. I think that Chris and Deborah Stearns enabled him. I do not wish on them or any other parents to be in the situation that they're in, but they raised this monster, Stephen Stearns, who's in this thumbnail that's on the screen. They raised him, and surely they have to take some responsibility to what this monster became. And hearing the phone call from jail that we heard today at the very beginning of the show, we can only surmise that they are still enabling Stephen Stearns. Mike, I think we're at that point in the show. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I see a lot of new faces. Schmitty, is it standard procedure to have a person raise their hand in an interview? In my experience interpreting this type of thing, I've never seen it. Schmitty, I have never seen that ever myself. That's something, it must be a Florida thing. I've never seen a detective swear in a the next thing they'll be bringing Gideon's Bible into the interrogation room. You know, I've never seen that before in my life. Fuzzy Doxy, good to see you. You would have broken him, Bill. Thank you. Thank you. Sylvia Baldwin, good evening from Ontario, Canada. Kissimmee, Florida, they arrested him on Wednesday night for the pictures due to the fact that they felt Manny may have still alive and captive somewhere and thus still at the risk of SA. Kissimmee, that I don't think that's true because they had the video of her early on in the investigation that she was dead inside the car. So I don't think that was. We'd have to know exactly the time frame, but they had video of him leaving the complex with her in the passenger seat, him coming back in, and they had the additional video of him removing her body from the passenger side seat and throwing her in the trunk. So I don't think that was real. That was really a factor. Yeah, this is a horrific case, and I don't know what this phone call he's making to his parents is expected to get him, but he's still living off his parents, it seems, and they are still enabling him. Mike, your final thoughts here.
I thought it was quite telling when you played the previous interview where Chris Stern had been talking to the detective, and and Chris Stern, the father, admitted to the detective that only the day earlier he had talked to his wife and said, "Do we even really know, Stefan? Because he's been lying to us forever." This relationship, this somewhat toxic lying relationship where he's trying to use them, had been going on for many years. And unfortunately, it's come to the point where maybe if he had been, held more responsible, he may have changed. It may have turned out a different way. But he'd been lying to them. He'd been very manipulative. Sometimes he seems weak and afraid, but it may all be an act. Remember, he can get up in the middle of the night and drive and do a mission and come back. He can lie to people about where he was, what he was doing. He could lie about maybe a missing watch from his father. He was willing to go back to his parents' house in the middle of the night to try to get information that he knew could be used against him. So this guy is a monster. He's got a lot of weird facets to his behavior. He's readily capable of scheming to kill a girl, poor Maddie. And so, don't take anything that you may hear that he says out of his mouth in any interview as gospel truth, because he's going to be lie constantly. He cannot help himself lying to even his parents about the most minor thing. And so, therefore, now he's going to pay the price for all of the things that he did. It's finally caught up to him. Maybe there will now be justice for Maddie. She deserves it. She's the one that's been hurt in this. And we should always hope that she will get justice and he will serve justice, whatever it happens to be. Life behind bars. It could be life behind bars with the possibility of a death sentence hanging over him. We don't know. But hopefully, keep your fingers crossed that he does get justice that he deserves for Maddie.
Absolutely. From the chat, Moth's Mummy. Jen was not horrified. She was jealous. Thank you very much, Moth's Mummy, for the 199 pound super sticker. Much appreciated. Fuzzy Doxy. Thank you for the 9.99 super sticker. And she thanks Bill and Mike. I like the picture of your dog there, Fuzzy Doxy. That's great.